Hey everybody, we are back with the Sparkle Seat series. I am your host, Deanna Durrell, intuitive relationship coach and spiritual mentor. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. And be sure to subscribe so you never miss any videos on how to trust and love yourself. If you're new, maybe a friend sent you this link. Just wanted to share a little bit about the vision for what we're doing here. I've selected 6 women from all different parts of the US and world who have bravely just raised their hands to have a conversation with me about different topics that are really, really important to them. So these range from dating to spiritual development to career transitions. And my hope and intent with this series is that you watch it and share it with a friend, somebody that may need that extra boost of inspiration, empowerment. And this is a community. So if there's a resource that you have, if something that's said on this show sparks your, intuition, or you've just got a hit for whoever I'm interviewing, please tag them in the comments below or tag me. And be sure to get a sheet of paper out because I have a feeling some powerful insights are going to come out from today's talk. So without further ado, I would love to welcome Nivedeeta to the goddess stage. And Nivedeeta, you might have to unmute yourself. There we go. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yay,
thanks, Dana.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So I have known you for a while now, and like so many relationships, I feel like there was like a divine force that brought us together. And it's just like I feel like I've known you before, and I've seen you grow through different evolutions and different challenges, and got really excited when you applied for this. And so when you think about your life right now, what is something what's an area where you feel like you're growing, where you're expanding, and that you'd like to focus on for our talk today?
So I feel that my dating life has really expanded a lot. I remember since like 2 years back, I contacted you about my situations on how to deal with my dating life, and it was a lot disorganized. I think, but I learned a lot on that area, as well as I had my spiritual growth on being a goddess. I really felt
Mm.
that during those years. I couldn't believe in myself before. I had a lot of insecurities. I still do. I'm still a work in progress right now, but
We all are.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, but the most aspect of my life that has been concentrating on was dating, and that is something I'm really trying to improve.
I love that. So right now, are you single, in a relationship? Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
So I'm very much single.
Okay.
The guy I was dating since quite a while, it was on and off, and he ghosted on me a
Mm.
month and a half back. And that was something very heartbreaking, but at the same time, I learned my lesson twice because this has happened, the same pattern repeated. And then I caught myself uh, right there that I had the red flag available in front of me. I still forgave him and been the same way as
Mm.
before. And I think that was a huge learning lesson. So I'm single for now. I'm still trying to work on myself, but I
Mhm.
guess I'm ready to get back on dating.
I love that. And so tell us about like what would be the ideal partner?
Somebody who is good in communication,
Mm-hmm.
uh, who is expressive, I would say, and uh, other qualities would be somebody who's trustworthy, authoritative, um, and who has some passion in his life.
Just taking notes. I
Yeah.
love it. The ones that really like jumped out from that list are expressive
Right.
and trustworthy and passion. Not that the others aren't important, but those like three in particular,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a little beam went off.
Yeah.
So do you feel, or let me just ask you this, what are you passionate about?
Just in this
General.
general,
Mm-hmm.
um, I am passionate about animals.
Yeah, tell me more.
Uh, they just make me feel happy. Um, I just end up feeding them every single day. So I haven't adopted anybody, but then
Oh.
it's just that if I see any birds or squirrels around, I'll just put some rice or breadcrumbs, and then I observe them having it in my patio. So it's kind of my self-care routine now.
Uh-huh.
And apart from that, I do love dancing. Uh, I think that is something where when I move my body, I feel like I'm forgetting the outside world. I'm in myself and I'm having the time of my life where it's just that I'm the most powerful person.
Oh, and I mean, okay, that your eyes totally lit up when you talked about animals and dancing and how, I mean, it sounds like you're integrating the animals into your daily life. What about the dancing? How often is that happening?
I try to do it like at least alternate days or maybe 2 to 3 times a week. Due to
Good.
my work schedule, I am not able to do that on a daily basis. And sometimes I get physically tired and mentally tired too. And I'm sure it would really refreshen me. But sometimes I just don't feel motivated to move my
Mm-hmm.
body that much.
Mm-hmm.
So it just because looking around and feeding animals is something it's giving me joy, and then I tend to not dance often. So yeah, I should do that more often then.
So the reason that's coming up is I wonder if there's environments that you can place yourself in where you would meet men, right? But it's like associated with either of these things. So maybe like, I'm just making this up, but like a tango class or volunteering at an animal shelter once a month, where
Right.
you would be doing something that you love and also putting yourself, right, keeping yourself open to meeting that masculine energy and then being okay if it doesn't happen, right? But like I don't know, because from what I know, right, you're a busy woman, like you work a lot and it's very mentally taxing, and anything that kind of takes you out of your mind and into your body is a good thing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So like petting an animal or just dancing, like both of those really tap you into your goddess feminine energy very easily. You don't
Right.
have to think about it so much.
Yeah.
um I don't know. I just get the feeling that online dating is like kind of another job for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it again stresses me out uh, talking to people, and since due to lack of time, I might not concentrate or give much time on dating apps. But at the same time, I'm not that of an outgoing person. So, in case if I need my alone time, I try to maybe stay indoors and dance rather than going out and uh, going for a dance studio, dancing in front of people when I
Mm-hmm.
just need alone time.
Mm-hmm.
Even Zoom dancing times help sometimes because
Mm-hmm.
all I want was that alone time. Even though I'm doing the dancing thing, I still feel like I don't want anybody to see right now
Mm.
till I'm
Yes.
ready.
Right. So then I wonder if it's kind of this balance between dancing to unwind, right? Dancing
Hmm.
to recharge, and then dancing to be social, right? And to like share energy with people,
Right.
and not pushing yourself, right? When it's the other one.
Yeah.
And then with the animals, it's like, I don't know. I feel like there's something with animals here, like whether it's, like I said, volunteering, or even doing like walking them or something, where you're constantly nurturing this being, right?
Right.
And it's great that you're feeding the squirrels, and that you know that that brings you joy, and there's no shortage of squirrels where you are, right?
Yeah.
They're probably really grateful.
Yeah, I'm sure they keep coming along every single day, so I know.
Oh yeah, they're like, we'll tell our 10 friends this chick has food.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think volunteering sounds like a really great idea. I'm sure lots of animals are in need of a volunteer, or at least some kind of companion for a short period of time till they get adopted, maybe in
Yeah,
rescue shelters or something. That sounds like a good
absolutely.
idea.
So you'd be a foster fur parent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or, if you wanted to like really put your energy out there, like I have a family member who volunteers at the Humane Society in Arizona, and just once a month, and she cleans out cages and like helps get stuff ready for the little gift shop, and all the
Mm-hmm.
proceeds go to help these animals, and
Mm-hmm.
bringing them in. So it kind of like, you can choose your level of involvement, but what I'm feeling energetically is like that balance between putting out, right? Putting out energy to just enjoy like nurturing something,
Yeah.
not necessarily um, to get anything back, but just because it is your passion,
Right.
and kind of getting you out of your head and out of your apartment, right? Like just having a change of scenery is really, really helpful. And then
Yeah.
also, you never know who you could meet. Shelters are a place where men do come, and it wouldn't be so outside your scope that it feels kind of alienating.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like I
think
don't I
that's
don't see you going to like a football game. Like it just
no.
you're just like, I would be so unhappy.
Right. I'll be bored like soon. So yeah, animal shelters are a great idea.
um so yeah, I mean, like, what would you want to see kind of happen in the next, I don't know, let's say 3 months? So if we get to whatever that is in 3 months, how would you like your relationship life to be different than it is right now?
In that case, I would really want to feel connected to a man where it seems like having an assurance that it's going somewhere, or maybe we are already exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to be in such relationship where I feel fulfilled rather than me trying to nourish or fulfill the other
Mm,
person.
yeah. Okay. I love that. That's so clear. So would you say in the past you've attracted men who just like you needed to boost them?
Yeah, kind of. Because I have had really hard time communicating with them because I have seen people, especially men, not being verbal enough, and I sometimes don't understand if I try to speak more. Uh, they just don't express that much, and I really feel like that would be great if I get some man who is really expressive, where I get assurance from his side he's really interested and in taking this ahead, and he sees that way I'll get clarity if we are on the same page. Um, if he sees the future as I do, if we have similar vision or similar qualities and things like that.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like you want to be chosen.
Yeah, I guess that small girl in me is still back in school life want to be chosen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm genuinely just curious, when you think back, was there a particular time or a memory that stands out where you were not chosen?
Actually, yeah, there are so many of them that just 2, 3 years back before I met you,
Mm-hmm.
those were all I could remember from my teenage life. Um, those were the only things which pulled me down. Um, and I suffered in my dating and relationships a lot because of those. That brought up lots of insecurities in me, and especially the competitiveness between me and the other person, probably between in relationship or even in friendships. And I
Mm-hmm.
felt like I am being ignored. Uh, and I don't know if it comes from my family background, because my family is not really expressive or affectionate,
Mm-hmm.
and they are not really good in communication either. They wouldn't tell or express their love, and they are like, yeah, you should understand, we are your parents, of course we love you. But that wasn't being communicated to me, and I think that's what lacks in me. That the mindset I have is I might not be able to get a guy who's expressive, or maybe this is the way men are not being able to be vulnerable or not expressing their feelings. Maybe that's how men are. Maybe that's
Mm-hmm.
how I should um, understand that and not really push them, because my recent guy, when I pushed him a little on expressing and being honest with me, he ghosted. So at the back of my mind, it still feels like, is it really possible a man to be expressive and really communicate well,
Mm,
showing affection, showing me, like I should see it clearly. I have no doubts.
right. And so, I mean, from my experience, what I've seen in like with my work with clients is that men and women, their center, right, of feeling anchored may be a little bit different. So as women, we at our deep core want to be adored, we want to be cherished. And men, and again, I'm speaking very generally here, have a deep need to be respected,
Mhm.
right, and appreciated. And so when it comes to communication, a man may express himself through the actions that he does for a woman or doesn't do. And as women, right, we tend to verbalize our feelings. We tend to process with other women, right? That's how we get clarity.
Yeah.
But men, right? It's like the more that they feel respected and appreciated, the more that we are the recipients, right, of that like adoration and being cherished. But it can sometimes feel like this very weird game, right, when we try to make men be women
Mm-hmm.
and they just aren't. And what a beautiful thing, right? Like just like you don't want to be a man,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's not that you can't have an expressive man. He just may express it in a way that is not so obvious. But what I hear you saying is you want to know and feel
Mm-hmm.
assured.
Yeah.
However he gets there is fine, but that's the core feeling. Am I getting that?
Yeah. Yeah. To feel adored, I think that would be the best, to feel adored, assured, uh, and so that I know that uh, he is expressing something out of love, out of
Mm-hmm.
concern, out of care. So I don't get confused, and uh, then I start analyzing, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, the core feeling would be that,
Mm-hmm.
rather than him expressing just verbally. It's fine if whichever way he wants to.
Yeah, like because he might bring you flowers
Mm.
as a way to say I'm sorry. But if it was like a girlfriend, right? Like they would be like, I'm so sorry. This is what I meant to say. Like, and we just go on and on and on. And a man may just give you flowers, right?
Right.
And then it's like having that self-confidence and self-love for yourself to recognize, okay, the gesture means I'm sorry,
Mm.
but I may never hear I'm sorry in the way that I expect, right? And
Mm.
then it's like I was reading just earlier today about a message versus a heart message. So like the message is he sent me flowers. The heart message is I'm really sorry I fucked up. I hope that these flowers make up for my really rude behavior. Right. And it's like, as women, sometimes we have to fill in the blanks
Mm-hmm.
of the actions. But yes. So then the question is, how can you create space in your heart to feel assured that you are enough, whether or not a man ever says it?
Right. I'm not sure because so I do need assurance uh, for myself that would come just from me. But about where things are in a relationship, uh, that kind of assurance is something I don't understand how to say to a man, or if it is given, or if he should again express this, or I should bring it up, or is there any way to know he wants to pursue this ahead? Um, Otherwise, if I have been there when I say it like where things are going, 90% of the time I don't know where things are going. So
Yeah.
that's the relationship where I'm sure where my relationship is going. I don't know about that. So that's the assurance I want. At least to have clarity that
Right.
it's going ahead, or maybe we are just taking it slow.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something I never understand from a man. He doesn't say it. With the man I have been with since last 2 years, it was on and off, but I never had any such conversation. And even if I asked him what exactly we are, all he said was, I want to know more for 2 years. I didn't get it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's definitely a balance. And just some things that I can offer is the first, his actions will show you how he feels about you. Believe them the first time,
Mm.
even when it's hard and it hurts, right? And then the second thing is it's really about knowing that as a woman, and I know I'm probably going to piss people off by saying this, but I don't really care. As women, we kind of we choose men. They don't necessarily choose us. And I know that sounds a little weird, but we choose what to tolerate and not tolerate.
Mhm.
Right? We are the ones that are hunted. But at the same time, we hold the emotional barometer for the relationship dynamic. So if you're nervous and you're anxious,
Mhm.
then they're going to pick up on that. And they may be going away, right? Or like coming up with reasons why they don't want to make the relationship go forward. And it's like an unspoken tension. But if you're relaxed and you're receptive and kind and flirtatious and sensual, but also have really, really clear expectations around how far you'll go, right?
Mhm.
Sexually and emotionally. It's like you're not, I liken it to um, cooking. Okay. Like let's just play for a second because I love food. Okay. So if you make the first time that you invite a guy to your apartment, let's say it's date 4, I'm making this up, and you make him a 5-course meal, and you've spent all day like decorating the apartment and candlelight, and you show up in a ball gown, and you're not exclusive, he's going to probably freak out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Instead, you open the door and you say, hey, I made us a great bowl of popcorn. Do you want to watch a show?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably more appropriate for a 4th date. And he's gotten the gift of your presence and your time and your sensuality for a couple of hours. That is the best fucking bowl of popcorn he has ever had. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So just dial it down.
Totally dial it down, but make it the best bowl of popcorn ever, right? It's like, this is your prize, but I'm not going to put energy into making a 5-course meal. A, I don't really like to cook. B, I don't know where this is going, and I'm not going to expend so much of my emotional energy if I don't know where I want to be and where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, but popcorn I can do.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's the same with dating. It's like, okay, if I don't know where we're going, I'm going to dial it back.
Mm-hmm.
Not how much I care, but like how much energy I'm giving. And it's not that the quality of your giving goes down, because it shouldn't, right? It's just you're giving him what, you know, what you're receiving. It's like, okay, if you're going to ghost me, then you're showing me that this is not where you want to be. So I'm going to go over here.
Right.
And, you know, if he is a smart guy and he is in tune with himself at all, he may come back and say, you know what, I just needed some time away. I really want to be with you. And it was like, can we do this? And most women, right? The average woman will be pissed off at the guy and be like, why didn't you call me for 3 weeks? But if you're that one woman that says, you know what, I'm going to take some time to assess what I want. And if she does really want to have a relationship with this guy, then she joyfully receives him into her life, because she's been filling herself up this whole time, right? It's like, men are like rubber bands. They need to stretch away to pull back in. And it's so irritating to us as women because we are the opposite. but there's a difference, right? Between like, I'm going to rubber band and then I'm going to break the rubber band and not tell you that I broke it and just kind of disappear into the mist. That's the ghosting. So I don't know if any of that made sense. I feel like that was all over the place.
Yeah, it definitely made sense. But yeah, I think at this time, I don't think even if he comes back, I choose to not be with him anymore. Even though I still have feelings for him,
Right.
I do miss him, but it's not right. I don't deserve this the second time. He's really different person. I realized um, I want something different, and it was not right. The dynamics were not right between us. Even though when he was with me, it felt right. Maybe because I missed him. I liked him, and I thought he liked me too. But then the definitions were different for both of us. So
Yeah.
so yeah. But yeah, that really makes sense to step back when things like that happen during dating. But my question would be, what if men start asking questions on, oh, okay, if I didn't do it, you should have done it, or as if it was being expected from me to do it if he didn't do it. Um, so because I have stepped back few times in my in during my dating time, and the guy took it another way as if I'm not interested. And this happened like in fifth or sixth date, and he was not really. Uh, the first 4 5 dates were quite nice. He was pursuing and everything, but then he pulled back and I stepped back completely. And
Mhm.
then he thought I'm not interested.
Mhm.
So I got confused there. Um,
Oh, what to do?
yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm going to say is kind of, again, like contradictory to a lot of feminine attraction
Mm,
stuff. Okay. I just want
mm,
to put that out there and be blunt. I believe that every situation is unique. And if you are not being natural, that is going to come back to you. Like it's going to hurt you in dating. So if you imagine that this was with let's say a really good friend, right? If you communicate the way that you would with a good friend in that case, right? All the guy wants is a little bit of a signal of reassurance. You said you want reassurance, so do men.
yeah.
And if they haven't felt that, and every guy's barometer is different, and you don't know where theirs is, but even just something like I just wanted to let you know I had a really great time the other night. Like
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't even have to be something that moves the action forward, but it can just be a reflection on what they've already done. Again, appreciation and respect. Like, ladies, if you hear nothing else from this, hear that. Appreciate a man and respect him. Everything, right? If you're
Mm,
having issues in your relationship, like it goes back to those two things.
mm-hmm.
Um, and it should be genuine. So
Yeah.
even if it's, I really had a nice time the other night, or um, I just saw this movie and it reminded me of our second date, you know,
Okay.
does
Yeah.
that make sense?
It's really subtle.
Super subtle, but it's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Versus, how are you? I'm missing you and thinking about you. Why haven't you called me?
Right. I think it's how we communicate to them as well. That's something I struggle to, because yeah, as everybody else, even I would try to figure out, oh, what's with this guy? After fifth date, he has pulled back, and then I'll be, hey, how are you? I haven't heard from you, and what's happening, and
Yes.
everything. Yeah,
So, I mean, so what you can do, because those feelings are there, right? And they come
yeah,
up, and we do feel insecure sometimes, and we feel afraid, and we want that reassurance. I
mm,
always, share with my clients, like, get out a sheet of paper and I want you to write it down. Like, I want you to get it out of your body and out of your head. And then after you get it out, then ask yourself, do I really want to send a message?
right.
And sometimes we still do. And it's like, okay, well, then send kind of like I just did the example, right? A subtle, hey, I'm here thinking about this time, right? Or I really appreciate this.
Hmm.
Um, it'll give off a different energy, because otherwise then the guy becomes like the recipient of all our anxious, unfulfilled energy. And that's
Yeah.
nothing repels a man more than that. It's like, oh my God, I don't want to be responsible for like all her happiness. Like that's a lot of pressure.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's why we have girlfriends.
Hmm.
So we just the invitation is to just honor your feelings, have a place for them, and like remember popcorn before 5 course meal.
Right. Yeah. That's a good good formula to remember. Yeah.
Hey, work here is done. Just go get popcorn, ladies.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
And if
Yeah.
you're lazy like me, get skinny pop. It's already made and it comes in a bag.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
I love it. Well, what would you say like your I don't know, top 1 to 3 takeaways from our conversation has been today?
So I think, yeah, one good thing I liked in this case is when we talked about assurance, the
Mm-hmm.
first thing would be that it comes from me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and once I put it down, write it down, then I'll be like completely grounded, and I'll have clarity of my own. Like, this is not a neglection, this is not ignorance, this is just something you are thinking about him, and you're
Mm-hmm.
just letting him know that you had a good time. So it's quite subtle. It's not coming out of ignorance that, oh, he did this, he did that. So there is no blame game there when I'm reaching out to him, and it's completely positive. Secondly, I think what I learned was about the way communication works for men and for women. Um, so if it is just a lot of words, I don't think he's going to react well. If it's just a lot of information, he's not going to react well. So yeah, I think the way it would be just to appreciate him first and then go ahead from there. Um, and third thing would be to, I think that's just the way uh, this push and pull thing works, where about what when is the right time to step back. So this was the actual example of when it is good for me to step back, when he's not stepping up. um, but you are just giving it that nudge to him that I am still interested and I had a good time. And that is quite subtle as that. I learned something new. I don't have to be coming on strong towards
Mhm.
them, saying, hey, you are supposed to call, you are the man, and I. So that he wouldn't take well either. So, yeah, those were the key points I think I learned from this conversation. Um, and the hurt, the feeling of ignorance, the feeling of lack of assurance, or what's lacking in that relationship, I think it's best to write it down so that when I'm showing up, it won't show up as if I'm being needy.
Mm.
I just want clarity. And that's the whole purpose of me initiating the conversation, just to get clarity and not to blame that guy, or not to misunderstand him, or uh, even be pushy or be masculine in in that sense.
That's huge. That's huge, goddess. And curiosity, right? It's like
Right.
you might not even get the clarity, but
Yeah.
you'll get information. So it's like the more information we have, then the easier it is to kind of know how to move forward. And sometimes it's to do nothing, and it's just to kind of be in this void of, okay, I just need to fill myself up, because if I keep thinking about this, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah. Yeah. That happens so
And
many
that
times.
happens too. And that's fine. And that's where you dance and you go pet some cute little critter.
Yeah.
But
Release out those emotions first before dealing with it, before dealing with the
yes,
guy.
yes, I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Goddess.
And everybody, thank you so much for watching. If there's something that spoke to you, please leave a comment below. We love reading them. And be sure to subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend. And until next time, remember, you are a goddess, and you are loved, and you are enough. Thank you so much, everybody.